Thank you for joining us this morning. So we're going to get straight into it. It's a half-hour presentation on Google My Business. So this is part one of a three-part course for us. So the first part is all about Google My Business and how it can help your own business. So if we do a quick introduction about ourselves. So my name is Gareth Waters. I'm co-director of Alliance Marketing. And then we have Matt.
Hello, hi, Matt Trevett, as Gareth said, we're co-directors of this wonderful little agency of ours.
And then we have Katie Price, who is our graphic designer at Alliance, and we are currently recruiting for a digital marketing person as well. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll have someone on board to help us with our digital marketing project. So Google My Business, what is it? I'll let Matt explain a little bit more about it.
Okay, essentially, Google My Business, hopefully everybody's familiar with it. It's a wonderful, wonderful tool provided by Google that provides us all, when I say us all, I mean small businesses, with the chance to compete alongside the big boys to raise our prominence on search engines. Three acronyms. Is it Give Me Business, Get More Business? Obviously, it's Google My Business, but all three are applicable for this. It's a little it's very prominent really for local search. It can make a massive difference for businesses. And as Gareth said, in this 30 minutes, we're going to do our very best to give you as many tips that you can take on yourselves, all completely free of charge. All it will take is a bit of your time to do it. That's all it is. Okay. So essentially, yep, it's Google My Business in a nutshell. It's free local business listings, and it really is one of the easiest ways to improve the ranking of your site in local search results. Gareth's now going to talk about the different types of search.
Okay, and if anyone does have any questions for us, then if we want to put it into the chat box at the end of the 30 minutes, then we'll be able to answer any questions that you may have for us. So direct search. So what is a direct search? So direct search is when someone is going onto Google and they are searching the name of your business. So in this case, we've got one of our clients, which is Mamalina's Italian restaurant in Newport. So when you put in the search term Mamalina's, on the right-hand side, then you will see this card, which brings up all the information about Mamalina's Italian restaurant. So this listing on the right is your Google business listing, and that will apply to any business that has a Google listing set up. So when you put the name of the business within that search, all of this relevant information comes up. And we're going to show you how that information is important, that you can edit that information and get the most from that information through your Google business listing. So then we come on to the three-pack, which is this map listing. So this is a massive part of a Google local search. So the three-pack typically comes up in the results when someone is searching for a product or service which may be relating to your business. So they're not necessarily searching for the business itself, but searching for a product or service within a local area. So in this case, if you search for Italian restaurants in Newport, you get the map listing on display, and they will then display the most relevant businesses relating to that search that you put in. So this can differ depending on the location that you're in, but from where we are, if you put an Italian restaurants Newport search in, you will then get the maps listing, and it will list those three most relevant businesses. So what we're going to try and explain to you is how you can improve that and ensure that your business then gets on the three-pack listing, because the three-pack listing comes up before any organic search results. So typically what you'll find is that when you search for a product or a service in a local area, you will get the map listing. Underneath that, then you will get your organic listing. So that's why it's kind of essential really to do what you can to ensure your business features within the three-pack listing.
Okay, so to carry on, why do you need Google My Business? Well, essentially, these 4 key points: prominence in search results. As the previous example for Mamalina's has demonstrated, it really can help your business to stand out in search results and will help people find your business, whether it's online or offline. While listings will guarantee that you'll appear in brand name searches such as prominent, the prominent position isn't guaranteed for business type results. This can depend on the level of competition. If you look at the local competition, it's a great way of just pushing yourself ahead of them. And a little exercise you could do after this perhaps would be to actually go onto Google on your phone, on your smart device, and actually type in your business name and see how you fare against your competition. In terms of credibility, it's your Google My Business listing has the option, provides reviews about your business, obviously, that your customers, your clients will provide for them. The more reviews, the more positive ones, obviously, the more credible it is, but also the more reviews you get for your business, the higher you'll appear in the local search results. So it's always worthwhile. Gareth will come on to this, but it's always worthwhile asking your customers to provide reviews for you. And another really, well, we find it fascinating and quite sad, but Google My Business gives you insights into the customer behavior. So you can go into that part of your account and it will tell you when people are searching, what search terms they're searching for when they're looking for your business or businesses like yours. It tells you how you're faring against your competition as well. There's all sorts of little sort of useful information, I suppose, that you can get out from it to fine tune your own Google My Business listing, which it really is worthwhile doing. And interestingly, 46% of all Google searches are local. That's because lots of people do them on their phone, and obviously you've got your when your phone's on, your phone knows where you are basically. And whilst the Google My Business 3 and the Google My Business 3-pack, the organic search results appear in 93% of all local searches, thereby again sort of enforcing why local businesses really do need to harness Google My Business. And you'll be surprised as well at just how many of your competitors may not bother with their Google My Business listing, which is ridiculous. So top tips to optimize Google My Business: consistency. This may sound silly, but always use the same business name, the same business address, the same business number. What do I mean by that? Well, Mammolina's Italian restaurant, Mammolina's. We always try to use Mammolina's Italian restaurant so that it's telling Google, it's being consistent to Google, to the search engine. So whenever anything goes out from them that we're responsible for, it's always Mammolina's Italian restaurant. So please, please, please try to be consistent. Don't abbreviate your name. Keep it to use the same format each and every time. Google My Business provides you with a really good opportunity. Gives you 750 characters to describe your business. What you can do in that is choose a couple of keywords that are particularly relevant to your business in terms of the location, or it could be in terms of location, the products or services you provide. Write it out a couple of times before you input it into there. You can change it afterwards, but use those 750 characters. But don't turn it into an advert for your business in terms of we are the best, we offer the most wonderful this, that, and the other. It's try to be as descriptive as possible without becoming an advert, because Google don't like this to be used as an advert, and you will be penalized for that. You get the opportunity as well with Google My Business to categorize your business. So you'll have a primary category for it, then subcategories. Again, before you actually fill this out, it'd be worthwhile to actually write out all the product services that your business provides. For example, we work with Howell Solicitors, essentially a full service law firm based in Cardiff with offices across South Wales. What we did for their Google My Business listing, we looked at all the different areas of law that they offered. That they provide, and which of those they wanted to focus on at any particular time. Then we'll change the order of them to change the prominence of them within the listing. But be specific about this. For example, if you own a nail salon, choose nail salon rather than just salon. There are over 4,000 categories for you to choose from. We've written a blog post beforehand listing out all these different categories. take your time to choose them. Don't just opt for the first one. Have a think, have a really good think about specifically what your business does, business does provide in terms of product services, and prioritize them as in terms of the most important ones for your business. Okay, you get other little options as well in terms of photographs. Really work very, very well for local searches. So if you've got opportunities to take photos of your products, your services, if you are office based and perhaps just provide a service, include photos of yourself, perhaps include photos of pieces of work you've undertaken for clients. Have a really good think about how you can visualize it, because again, a nice sharp photograph of your business, of you, of the product services will catch the person's attention. Well, 60% of consumers say that local search results with good images catch their attention. Take your time to have a think about it. Google does recommend 3 internal photos, 3 external photos, then photos of your staff, of various other bits and pieces. I know this isn't necessarily relevant for a few of you, but if you do have examples of your work you can show through photos, please do so.
Matt, I'm just going to go back to this screen actually and just mention this obviously is pre-COVID. And in the case of the restaurants that we were in, such as Mamalina's, is that obviously we had categories assigned to them that were restaurant. When the first lockdown came, we had to go into the GMB listing and then add additional categories or change some of the categories that they were placed in, because as a restaurant, they then had to become a takeaway. So we then needed to change the Google categories for the business to ensure that they were being found then for takeouts and delivery service, and the kind of the way that they adapted needed to be then reflected on their Google business listing. So, you know, the categories are important, and if your business has changed slightly due to COVID, then, you know, look at the categories that you're currently in. Are they still relevant to your business? Do you need to change the categories that you're currently sitting in? So it's, you know, it is important, and Google does place an emphasis on the categories that you're placed in. So just ensure that they are correct. So there we go.
Okay, and you also get an opportunity to write posts on your Google My Business profile. At the moment, you can actually do, carrying on from what Gareth just said, it provides you with a COVID update. There's a new option. You see across the top of the screen here, add update, add event, add offer, add product. Well, there's another section called COVID update at this moment in time, so you can be specific about how your business is adapted for COVID. But these, the posts provide you with a really good opportunity again to tell visitors about events you've got coming up, offers, products, and other updates. Again, not many of your competitors will be regularly updating their Google My Business listing with posts. It's a fantastic opportunity for you to do that. So if, for example, you're writing blog posts for your website, on your Google My Business, you can add a post to say, you know, find out more about the latest, whatever the blog post is about. And then it provides you with an opportunity as well to link to your website, to provide a link on it to your website. It's you can post as often as you like, but importantly as well, it gives you some nice insights. If you look to the right of the image here, it tells you how many people have viewed the post, so you know if it's working. And then, of course, you can go into the insights as well at the back end of your Google My Business and find out more about what worked, what didn't work, and then you can tweak. Because obviously good marketing is all about tweaking. It's all about constantly sort of measuring, evaluating what you previously did. How can you do it better? And this writing posts on Google My Business is a really nice way of just fine-tuning your writing skills, perhaps, to promote your business in local searches. And Google My Business as well, this is something that quite a few businesses don't actually pay much attention to. Your visitors have the opportunity to write questions, to ask questions about your business. If you don't check them regularly, a weird thing about this is anybody can provide replies on your behalf. So it's well worthwhile, at least once a week, I'd strongly recommend actually just popping onto your Google My Business profile just to see if any questions have been posed and then to answer them. It's people can ask a whole variety of weird and wonderful questions on there, but you can also have a little bit of a cheat here as well. If you have frequently asked questions that your clients regularly ask you, you know that there's going to be a relative sort of search element to that. So you can actually write your own questions and provide your own answers on there. And you do that because you know those questions are being asked by people searching elsewhere. So again, it's going to it's going to help your profile, your listing on Google, on search engines.
Yeah, so just to add to this is that, think about the most commonly answered or asked questions relating to your business at the moment. What are your customers asking most about? You can create those questions on your listing and then obviously put the answers to it as well. So you don't necessarily need to wait for people to ask those questions. You can put that information on the in readiness for those people that may be asking those types of questions. Okay, so you've done all this work to your Google business listing. Now, how do you share your profile with your customers, your friends, and anyone else that you may feel relevant to share? So within your dashboard, there is an opportunity to get this link, this short link that you can share then through the buttons that are available. So you can share that if you click on the Facebook button, you can share that link straight through to Facebook. The same with WhatsApp and Twitter. So those buttons will link up to those accounts. And also you can then share via email as well. So this is a good way of generating reviews for your business very quickly. By using this short link, you can send that to your customers, ask them for a review, and obviously reviews are massively important for a local business. So this is a very easy way, and it's one of the common questions for us is, how do I get more reviews on my Google business listing? So this is one easy way of doing it, is to go directly into your dashboard, go to your short link, which is unique to you, and then share that out with your customers. So there are also industry-specific features and tools within your Google business listing. So if you're a hotel-based business, then there is a different knowledge panel geared up solely for that type of business with additional functionality. Restaurants can add menus. So this is a very good way of restaurants or cafes and bars putting their menus onto their Google business listing as if they would on their website, and then listing all of the things that they currently have on offer through the menu. So again, it's great for takeaways because they can do that. They can put the menus and customers can see an up-to-date menu. So individual businesses can add product and service details. So there are facilities in place to upload all of your individual products or your services. You can assign descriptions, titles, prices to them, so people get a good idea then of the products and service that you're offering. You can enable customers to book appointments with you. So there are certain booking systems that you can sync up with your listing. So again, this applies to B&Bs, hotels, mainly businesses within hospitality that can integrate their own booking systems then within the Google business listing. Now, service area businesses can hide their address and just show the geographical areas they cover instead. So if you don't necessarily have a physical presence, a building, a shop, then you can assign a service area business. So if you just work or supply your services or products within the South Wales area, then you can assign that to your listing and tell Google the area that will be covered. So it's slightly different to having a physical listing, because if you are a restaurant, then people know exactly where you are. You've got an address signed to it. So they are more likely to come up into a local search as opposed to a service area business. But a service area business can still take the full opportunity of the Google business listing, and you'll still have the full suite of tools available to you. So if you don't necessarily have a physical address, then assign yourself as a service area business. And obviously Google business listing is a great way of being able to manage your reputation online. You know, as we said, send out your short link, get customers to leave reviews on your listing, because Google will favor those businesses that primarily have more reviews or good reviews assigned to them. You can get bad reviews, and obviously the key to that is ensuring that you go on you respond to the person that is leaving a review to make sure whether it's good or bad. It's always best practice to respond to any reviews that are left on your listing. So this is just looking at the adding products to your page. So this is an example of what we did for Mammalina's, is that we added one of their products, which is basically a meter-long pizza and bottomless prosecco, which is £25. So it's a good way of getting those individual products onto your listing, adding a photo, adding a title, assigning it with a category, and as you would with a website, perhaps, is just making full use of the tools available to add all of your products. And you can do the same with your services as well. Assign a price to it if you want to assign any prices. Okay, so then we look at queries that are used to find your business. So this information is available to you in the dashboard of your Google Business Listing. If you download the app to your phone, then again you can see this information. And the app is fantastic; it's really good, and it gives you all the data that you need to monitor your listing. So in the case of again Mammalina's, over 1 quarter. Now this was pre-COVID, I have to say, there's not that many people searching for restaurants right now because of the restrictions. But in this quarter period, there were 1,200 people searching for restaurants where Mammalina's appeared in the search results. And you can see as you go down the list, they start to become more specific. So again, places to eat near me. Near me is a fantastic local search term. So typically when people are searching near me, they're looking for those businesses which are very local to them. So consider that, within the optimization of your listing and your website as well. So that gives you an overview of the type of search terms that people may be searching on Google. Then we also get the insight into your business, really good data to understand what people are searching or how they find you through Google. So this is Mammalina's again in the 1 quarter. So you can see that there were a total of 55,000 searches where Mammalina's appeared within the Google search results. So you've got a direct listing. So the direct listing is where a potential customer or customer has entered the business name or the address, and the result has appeared within the Google listing. Discovery is when someone is searching for a product or a service. So they're not searching for the name or the address of your business. They're searching for something relating to your business. So that is often a product or service. And then your business appears within the Google listing. Branded is slightly different. We don't see many of these for local search because branded is geared up more towards the kind of the brand names, where someone is searching for a product or service relating to a brand name, and then that appears. We don't tend to see so much of that happen. But on the right hand side, then you can see in this quarter a total of just under 100,000 views, and you can see the difference between the listings on maps and search. And this is why we say that it's massively important to try and get onto the map listing in those top 3, because as you can see in this quarter, nearly 80,000 views were through the maps, and then the 20,000 were through the actual organic search. So you can see that getting on that map is kind of a prime position to be in. And that's why we say do all you can to optimize your Google business listing to ensure that you're coming in within this 3-pack on the maps, because people will engage with that much more than what they will do perhaps with an organic listing. So that covers in a nutshell really our kind of our take on a Google business listing. There is so many tools that we could spend the next hour talking about, but that kind of overviews gives an overview of what you can do with your own Google business listing. So I'm just going to go through the chat, and I think there's a few points that have been picked up there, and we'll do our best to see if we can answer those. So Julie, you said you've got a business listing on Google Maps. You're probably not making the most of it. I think that's the case for a lot of people. In the respect that many businesses have set up a Google business listing, or they've registered it, but they're not using it to their full potential. So that is going through all the different kind of topics that we've put in place today, and just doing a little bit more than the rest. Jackie, most of my business comes from Google My Business. That's great. That's great to know. If you're a local business, then there is every opportunity to pick business up through your Google business listing. I mean, we've done it ourselves. I mean, in the case of restaurants, they pick up so much business through a Google business listing. It's massively important for them. Without that listing, they will lose a massive proportion of their sales. What else have we got? So Charlotte, uploading photos have made a huge difference for See No Bounds. Needs to be consistent. Photos, again, often overlooked, but massively important to upload photos on a regular basis. Now, some businesses find it quite hard to upload photos because they say, well, I'm a service-based business. How can I upload photos? But that could be team photos. It could be just photos perhaps that you would place on Facebook in terms of your own marketing. Put those on Google as well. There's no reason why not to be able to upload those photos.
Can I just butt in a little bit? Don't be afraid as well to have a look to see what your competitors are doing and replicate, or just take, have a look, see what photos they're taking, and just see how you could do something similar, I suppose. And same for, have a look at your competitors' listings and cherry pick the things from there that are working for them that you think will work for you as well. There's no harm in doing that whatsoever. Obviously, personalize it, make it unique to your business, but have a look to see what your competitors are doing, because some will have invested a lot of time and effort into making sure their GMB listing is as prominent as possible.
Yeah. Angela, you mentioned how to use images for consultancy, so we just kind of covered that bit. Whatever images you're using for your own social, I think Charlotte's said that. The ones that you put on Facebook, use them on your Google business listing. That works. Canva's a good tool for, I'm not a big fan of Canva, I must admit, being a designer, but I know it's a fantastic tool. I know Matt uses it quite a bit for creating images for social media. So use the images you would on social media for placing on your Google business listing. Make, you asked about if you don't have a proper business address. So I think we covered that within the service area. Assign yourself a service area that you would typically deliver your products or your services, and do it that way. What else we get? Jackie, so you've said that photos are attracting over 80% more people than other similar listings, and this is definitely the case, and we see that with pretty much every Google business listing we manage, that as soon as we put a handful of new photos on a listing, there is a big spike in the amount of views that those images get. So adding new images is a great way of increasing the amount of people that are viewing your listing. Layla, posts are a great way to reach out to customers. So yeah, posts. If you're posting on your website, if you're creating blog posts, then you can put shortened versions of these straight onto your Google business listing. There's buttons then you can attach to that post. So if you want to put a snippet within your Google business listing post and then send people off to your website to read the full blog post, that's a great way then of directing traffic to your website. So you're keeping people engaged from your Google business listing straight to your website. We got anything else on there? So events, you can add events obviously to your listing. Online events as well. Obviously there's not many public events happening at the moment, but certainly online events you can add to your Google business listing. You can also add COVID updates. So there is a section now on Google Business where you can put specific updates relating to COVID. So if your hours are changing or there are restrictions in place for your business, add that as a post as well. So Angela, if you have different businesses, do you do them separately? Yes. So if they're in different locations, certainly if they're different businesses, then I would have separate listings for them. You can manage all of your listings in one place. So we've got a manager set up basically where all of the listings that we manage are in one place, and we can just jump between each of the listings. So yeah, certainly do that as a course of action.
Gareth, do you want to mention the app?
In regards to what?
The GMB app, in terms of managing, it's how it makes life a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah. So I mean, the app is a fantastic little tool. Download it onto your phone. You can get all of the stats. You can update it, update your posts and all of the details through the app. What I would suggest doing is using a laptop or a desktop to really understand the features, because it is more user friendly on a desktop. But the app is great for monitoring those stats that you're getting, or if you want to put a quick post up, an update, then the app is really good for doing that.
Responds to reviews quickly as well.
Yeah, and that's another benefit to the app, is that you can receive messages like you would with a WhatsApp message. Basically, you can also do that through your Google business listing. So restaurants use that effectively. If someone wanted to book a table, you'll get a message through their Google business listing, and they can respond that way. So let me stop sharing. There we go. Are there any other questions? Anyone wants to ask us anything to do with Google business or their listing? Please come off mute if you would like to. If not, then that's fine. What we will say is that this is part 1 of our 3-part course. So as we mentioned, this one covers Google My Business. Then the next part, next Friday morning at the same time, that covers website optimization. So if you've got a website, then we'll kind of give you the knowledge and the understanding of how you can perhaps optimize your website yourself, or just give you an idea of whether your website is currently optimized or not. So if you've got a Wix website or a WordPress or Squarespace website, then this course will be useful for you, just to give you an understanding of website optimization. And then part 3, which is the following Friday, that looks at how you can generate more reviews for your business. So again, we'll touch on the kind of the Google business reviews, but looking at other options then for reviews, whether that's through social media or other bits of software that you can use. So I think that's it for us. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you all found it very useful. Now, I've got most of your email addresses from when you booked on. I know some of you didn't book on, but if you want any more information from us, then we'll happily send you some info. If you just want to pop your email addresses into the chat box, and we can send a PDF across to you, which will kind of just go through the topics that we've discussed this morning. So if you want to do that, great. Other than that, thank you very much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers all.